Good day, everybody. Today we'll be talking about our web-based application called GeoVote, where opinions meet locations. All right, and here's the GeoVote team. You have me, Hakan, you have Haley, Jacob, and Sean, who will later introduce themselves. All right, and on this slide we have all of our development tools. So within the front end, we used React, Tailwind CSS, MUI materials, Leaflet, and for the backend, we use Django and Django REST framework and PostgreSQL for the database. At the bottom, you'll see our APIs that we use as well, which was the OpenStreetMap, which displayed the map, the Google Geocode, which converted the address to latitude and longitude, the polls API, which handled all of our poll logic, and then the news API to retrieve all the current news information. And then within the cloud, you can see all of our communication tools that we use as well, which involved Slack, Zoom, Agile methodologies, which include daily stand-ups and daily stand-down. And then we also use GitHub. What is GeoVote, you ask? Well, in a world where opinions and preferences vary widely, GeoVote brings people together by showing the collective answers to fun or controversial questions. Users create polls on various topics, and others can vote based on their geographic location. The results are then displayed on an interactive heat map showing how people in different regions voted, whether it's about the best way to eat a pizza or political leanings. GeoVote helps visualize these differences in an engaging and interactive way. Some people are just so impatient. Haley, I'll let you take it from here.
I got you, Demi. So, hi, my name is Haley. I am part of the front-end design team, and today I'll be demonstrating the user registration and the landing/homepage. So first up, I just wanted to show the basic structure for the designing that we came up with at first. These were just the rough drafts for the sign-up page and the login page. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So here we're met with the login page, but for this demonstration, I'm just going to sign up a new user. Let's go with John Smith. Alright, and this is the landing page. It is currently grabbing all of the latest national news and local news. We decided to integrate this feature to allow users to browse any articles that they may find interesting, where then they can take that information and possibly put it into a poll and get other people's opinions on it. So a user can pretty much just click on this read more button and it'll redirect them to the article's actual website where they can read all of this information on. And then they can also look at local news for their city, so let's just put Chicago. And then they get all of the latest local news for that city, which then they can scroll all the way down, click on the next button, and get a new page of articles. So that is all for me. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it up to Jacob.
All right, thank you so much, Haley. This is Jacob, and I'm going to demonstrate GeoVote's login functionality and updating a user's profile information. So here we have John at smith.com, and we have his password put in, and now we are going to log him in. And there it goes navigating to the home/news page. If we click up here, we can click profile. And here he already has some information, but if we want to update any of it, let's say we want to change his address. We'll change this to Michigan, and we'll have the right zip code for it. And we'll have just, this is John's profile for his biography description. And we are going to save that. And there we go. His address information is updated. All of his profile information is updated. And that is it for a user creating their profile for GeoVote. Pass it off to Sean now so he can show you guys how to create a poll. Take it away, Sean.
Thank you, Jacob. I'm Sean Harbison, and I'll be describing the functionality of the Polls app. Here we are at the Create a Polls page. Here the user can put in their question. Here we already have a question teed up. What is the correct way to pronounce GIF? And there is only one correct way. The user can put in their address, where a third-party Google Maps API will take the address, give us the latitude and longitude, and return it to us so we can plot it on our map. From there, the user puts in their 4 choices and then create poll. Now, if your user wants to go and answer some polls, click over here. What is your favorite color? But before we do that, I want to show if you try to click on vote, you get an alert. You have to make a selection. Okay? And my favorite color is red. But let's say you made a mistake. You want to click green? You can do that too. I'm going to stick with the red here. And I'm going to click vote. My vote is now submitted. And I move on to the next random question. I would now like to show you the model diagram that we used for the polls app. Here in the models diagram, we show that the user has a one-to-many relationship with the question, and the question has a one-to-many relationship with the choice and the vote. The choice has a one-to-many relationship with the vote. There's also an optional one-to-many relationship with the user to the vote. Now I would like to answer some common questions regarding the functionality of the polls app. Why choose to store data in API over the backend? Well, there are several reasons why. First is scalability. As our user base grows and the number of polls and votes continues to grow, we need some place to store all this data. And we're not going to be able to do that on our own backend. We need a third-party API to help us with that. The next reason is centralized access. As we have mobile apps and web browsers, those all have one single point of origin that they come across with an API. If we use our backend, we would have to design a way for all those to have access. There's also the benefit of added security that the API provides that we can't provide on the backend. There's also flexibility, such as the hardware and software, such as servers, that we can't provide that an API would be able to. The API is also able to provide analytics that we can't. How did we design our API endpoints? So we used REST principles utilizing post, such as our create a poll method, and get requests, such as our random poll. These help keep our actions separate, clear, and maintainable. How do we handle our errors to ensure reliability? We used catch and try structure with our API that gave us descriptive error messages that helped us identify where the errors are happening and how we could fix them. So if we were given the luxury of time, I would like to implement WebSockets because they provide real-time updates for both new polls and votes that are cast, and they're also bilateral, also provide low-cost overhead. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration.
Appreciate that, Sean. I'll take it from here. Hi, I'm Arkan, also known as Demi, a 6-year Navy veteran. I was responsible for the front-end logic, particularly the heat map and the poll integration. Today I'll walk you through how these features work and their functionality. Currently the map is being displayed by the OpenStreetMap, which is the first layer. The second layer is the heat map overlay from Leaflet, and the third layer is the markers, which display the question and most popular answers. For example, if I click on this one, you can see it shows you the questions, and then it would also show you the most popular answer within that area. Here as well, you can see it. Just another example. There's also a colored legend here in the top right. So as you can see, since it is less than 10 votes, it's only displaying as blue. But if you have more than 20 votes or 30 votes, you would see a color change within the heat map as well. I will also refresh this page since Sean added a new poll and voted on an answer, which will now display on the map. So if we zoom out, we can now see that they're generated, and this is the location of the question that he had. What is the correct way to pronounce GIF? The most popular answer was, I say both to make everyone mad. Alright, and I will now pass it off to Haley.
Alright, let's start talking about competition. So GeoVote's competition involves Poll Everywhere, which has live polling but no local context, Straw Poll, which has simple polls but no geographic focus, and SurveyMonkey, which has traditional surveys but no interactive maps. And that's where GeoVote comes in, because we have unique polls, local voting trends, and an interactive map. So let's go ahead and pass it off to Jacob.
The obstacles that we had to overcome as a team with this project was in the early stages of it, we had to kind of determine our product's vision and scope, what were the limitations, what were we able to accomplish, our tech stack. We decided on Django, React, and Postgres for data management. And then our heat map integration was quite challenging on the front end to be able to get these different APIs interacting with each other and different functionality, and then also user face and experience to ensure smooth user interface for our end users.
We here at GeoNode are always looking to the future, and we have plans to form partnerships with social media giants such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, but we also have plans to form partnerships with foreign markets such as WeChat or RedNote. We have intentions to use AI and machine learning in order to create tailored experiences for each user. And we also plan to form a mobile app in order to enhance user accessibility across the world.
All right, we have now reached the end of our presentation. We'd like to thank everyone for their patience while watching us, regardless of our presentation skills. I'd like to shout out my internet connection for making this presentation possible. Also, a shout out to my mom, my aunties, my cousins. But seriously though, a special thanks to the GeoVote team, Code Platoon instructors, and TAs. Lastly, we would also like to open the floor for any questions. Thanks for watching.